All right, everybody, welcome back. This is G Funky Boxing, and I'm joined by my homeboy from my hometown, the 916. You see it on the shirt, you see it on the hat. All right, Black and Brown. What's going on, bro? Thanks for joining me.
What up? What up, G Funky? I'm loving the energy, man. We got that high energy on this Saturday night.
That's right, man. You know we get down over here, man. We keep it boxing, and HCP is the home of real boxing talk, man. So we're gonna get into some real boxing talk here today. This is the episode 2 of Boxing Kings of Sacramento. You know, we've took that name because Black and Brown and I are both from Sacramento. We are, from what I understand right now on YouTube, we are the 2 biggest channels on YouTube from this area. So until further notice, we will be the Boxing Kings of Sacramento. What do you say to that, man?
That's right. Hey, I like it. That's right. Until someone else pops up and, hey, they can join us, shit.
Exactly.
There's plenty of room in this car.
Exactly, man. We're just waiting, man. We looking. We got our binoculars out. We're looking. We get the fishing rod out. We'll fish you guys in, man. All right. We're looking for you guys.
Who's out there? Who else is out there? I know there's more of you guys out there. Get in here with us.
Absolutely, man. This is really what the show's about too, man. We want to reach out to you guys. So any Sacramento channels out there, make sure you guys come here and hook up with us, man. We'll do a show together. It's not a big issue over here, man. We got my boy A-Rod here. He says, "Saludos, Sacra." That's right, man. I know you was rolling through my city today, bro. You was bumping that Brother Lynch, man. I like that. That's old school,
Hey, and G Funky, not only channels, but the Sacramento boxing fans too that want to come on and hit the link and come on and talk to us and share their stories with us and anything, man. Any boxing stories from Sacramento, boxing fans from Sacramento, any guys on YouTube or even interested in YouTube, hit the link and come on here, or just ask for the link and come on here and talk boxing with us.
That's right. It's an open invitation here, man. Next time that we go live on this program, I will have the creator and the CEO of what you see here on my Loyal Roots is the name of the company. This is where I got this shirt from. This is where I got this hat from. He is a dear friend of mine. I've known him for a very long time. We will get him on so we could talk about his brand and how it's all about being local. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, let's get into some boxing talk, man. Black and Brown, did you see the fight last night, man? Did you see Navarette versus Villa?
Yeah, I watched the whole card, man, and it just topped it off. It topped it off. In boxing, we get a Super Bowl every weekend, and last night it didn't let us down, man. It was a hell of a main event. I feel Ruben Villa fought his ass off. I feel like he won rounds. I feel like his game plan was working for him. He just got caught. He got caught a few times, but I mean, I can't take nothing from Ruben Villa last night. He fought his ass off. I was proud of him. Selena should be proud. He should be proud of himself because he put on a great performance. He was a little bit overmatched, and undersized. He was a little bit smaller, but as far as boxing skills, man, I wasn't mad at him at all, man. I appreciate what I watched last night, and much respect to both fighters. Both fighters, I give them both their respect.
Yeah, man. Much credit to Navarette. He showed me some things last night, man. Now, I know Ruben Villa is a guy that has kind of, he's flown under the radar as far as like, getting out there to the masses. Hopefully now when people see him, they'll recognize him and know who he is. I hope that they don't throw him on the back burner, because I do believe that the kid's got a lot of skills, but much credit to Navarette. He was in there. He had been fighting. He's been very active. Don't get me wrong. That guy has been very active, but he hasn't really been in there with good comp. He was fighting a lot of cans, to be honest with you. So that's one of the main reasons why I was picking Villa, because Villa is a very skilled fighter, and we saw some of those skills come out in that fight last night. The one thing, though, that you just can't prepare for with a guy like Navarette is he's so unorthodox. He throws punches at weird angles. He throws punches when you don't expect those kind of punches to come, like leading with uppercuts and things like that. Like that is just so odd. And so, you just, it's hard to prepare for that. You can't find sparring for something like that. So it really benefits Navarette to be awkward like that. I've seen some people saying that he needs to work on things or that he's sloppy or this and that. Look, man, the guy's winning fights. He's winning fights, and he's he's getting the job done. So I don't think there's any need for Navarette to switch up his strategy or his style, man. We got a few more people here. We got Buddy Aces says not Villa ran for his life. I disagree with that. Run PMC is here, man. And hey, I want to thank you for your donation to the Cash App, man. I do appreciate that. Run PMC. If you guys want to donate to the channel, you can donate there at the Cash App if you like. But yeah, and then we also got, hey, he's here, he's watching. Hey, next time we'll get you on, bro. And we'll talk about your brand. You know what I'm saying? We look forward to having you on, bro. But as far as Villa goes, he got caught a couple times, and on my scorecard, that's what made the difference. That round 4, I mean, look, on 2 judges' scorecards, they had it 6 rounds apiece. Villa, I mean, obviously gets knocked down twice, so he's going to lose on points. I had it 114, 112, just like those 2 judges did. The thing that 4th round, that was a big knockdown for Navarette. Huge knockdown, because that was a round he was losing up to that point, man. He was losing, and he got clipped, trying to land an uppercut, goes down, and, of course, you got to give Navarette the extra point that round. If he stays on his feet that round, though, he wins the fight on the 2 judges' scorecards. He wins that fight. What do you think of that, Black and Brown?
No, I'm not going to disagree with that, but I want to address Buddy Ace's Villa ran for his life. I'm not going to say he ran for his life, but don't you think that's what he had to do to even stay in the fight, because he was fighting the bigger man? If he stayed in that pocket, you've seen what was going to happen. He could not stay in that pocket. So Buddy Ace say he ran for his life, but I say that's what he had to do. That he was just doing what he had to do to try to win the fight. I thought he put himself in a great position to win the fight. Going into the 12th round, I was excited for him. I knew he was down, and just from like the eye test, I thought he was losing the fight, but I still thought he had a chance in the 12th round. But Navarette dominated the 12th round. If you take the 2 knockouts out, it's a much closer fight. But there's no way you can tell me that Ruben Villa was not still in rounds in there. He was still in rounds, even backing up. Even like Buddy Ace said, he was running. He was still, in my opinion, showing the more better boxing skills. Yeah, Navarette was catching him. Navarette was putting the pressure on him. But Ruben did what he had to do, and he held his own in there. So it was a super close fight. You take one knockdown away, and it changes the whole thing. But if you take both knockdowns out, I mean, shit, Ruben might even – I hear people saying today that Ruben Villa won that fight on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say – I mean, like I said, I had a 6-6. So if he stays – I mean, I don't know, man. My thing is this. He showed me a lot, man, because this was his first big fight he's the main event on ESPN, right? He goes out there, gets dropped in the first round with a weird lead uppercut from way outside. He gets hit with it, goes down. He gets up, fights the next 2 rounds pretty well. And to me, that 4th round was one of his best rounds up until that knockdown. He was winning that round pretty cleanly and pretty clearly. Gets caught with something that goes down again. 2 knockdowns now in 4 rounds. You would think that a kid like that could just possibly fold, has never been on this kind of stage before. Not only that, the ESPN commentating crew, they were just waiting for him to get knocked out. I mean, you hear it over and over again. Those middle rounds, round 6, 7, 8, 9, they kept saying, look, man, Navarette, he's just setting it up. He's just waiting. Watch, I'm telling you. Guess what? It never came. And you know why it never came? Because Villa was fucking boxing him. Villa was outboxing him in those rounds. Like you guys gotta stop just looking at the knockdowns when you score. Like you gotta score each round. There's 12 rounds in a fight. Each round has to be scored. I understand he got knocked down twice. Navarette gets the extra point in those rounds. But guess what? The next rounds that come after that, you still have to score them. Somebody's got to win those rounds. And in my opinion, Villa was winning rounds in the middle of the fight. He got back in the fight, man. So let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop just looking at the knockdown. I'm seeing it all over YouTube today. People talking about the fight. Oh, you got dropped 2 times. Yeah, but what about the rest of the rounds? Like, you guys gotta remember, you gotta score every single round. Navarette was just following this kid around. He wasn't cutting off the ring. He was missing shots while Villa was countering him with shots. Now, he might not have been hitting him with the most powerful shots, right? But guess what? You don't score fights that way. The scoring criteria doesn't say whoever hits harder, they get more points than the other dude. No, it's called clean punching. As long as the punch lands cleanly, you score that punch for that fighter. So, I mean, it's just too many false narratives that get put out there. Too many people listening to their old uncles from back in the day telling them how to score a fight. Look, man, they put the scoring criteria up before every single fight. Pay attention to that. Read it, study it, understand what it means. Then you'll understand how to score boxing, man. What did you think about the commentary, man? Go ahead.
G-Funky, before I talk on the commentary, you bring up the scoring criteria, right? And one of the criteria is defense. How many times did you see Navarette swing in the air last night? That was because of Ruben Villa's athleticism and getting in and out of that pocket, and he had him swinging at air. While Ruben Villa was hitting him with the jab when he was coming in, hitting him with the jab, had him swinging at air. So if you score round by round, there's rounds in there, especially rounds 2 and 3. There's also rounds 8, 9. There's rounds in there that Villa won those rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
I think the defense. I think Villa's defense. I know he got caught with the 2 shots that knocked him down, but when you get out of those rounds and you start looking at the other rounds, he had Navarette swinging at air in a lot of those rounds. So yeah, just to piggyback on what you said, he won rounds in that fight. I do think he lost that fight. In no way am I saying that Villa got robbed. He lost that fight. Navarette won that fight, but Ruben fought his ass off, and he did his own good things in that fight. So as far as Timothy Bradley, he was irritating me all night. Because what he said about his glossy eyes. If you know anything about Ruben Villa always gets those glossy eyes. Always. Ruben Villa gets glossy eyes after the 4th or 5th round. So when he said, "Oh yeah, look at his glossy eyes," that means he's still feeling the effects from the second knockdown. That's just you not knowing who Ruben Villa is, because he always gets the glossy eyes.
Yeah,
it didn't seem like Timothy Bradley was giving him any credit for what he was doing. He had to almost force him to give him the credit, and then he did start giving him credit after Ruben Villa kept controlling the fight with the jab. He kept hitting him with the jab. Then Timothy Bradley would have to, give him his credit. But before that, they wanted him to go down. They wanted him down in the 7th or 8th round.
Yeah, and they were really giving off this vibe that Navarette, he's trying to knock this kid out. He's just looking for the knockout and things like that. They said that at least 3-4 rounds in a row. And guess what? Those rounds, Navarette was just looking. He was just headhunting. He wasn't coming in behind his jab. He wasn't going to the body. He wasn't cutting off the ring. So I don't know how you could give him those rounds. Why? Because he's looking to knock the guy out? That's not how you score a fight. That's not how you score a boxing match. I'm sorry. That's not how it works, man. You guys out there, look, if you don't like the way Villa fought, hey, look, that's cool. That's your opinion. But guess what? It was effective. Because the fact that the man, after rounds 5, right, because he was trying to knock him out, he said, I'm getting him out of there in round 5. After he did in round 4, you can see how aggressive he was in that 5th round. He was really trying to come through on that prediction. It didn't happen. But guess what? A lot of those rounds, he was just headhunting and missing, man. Like, you guys got to understand, defense is scored in fights. That's a part of the scoring criteria. So this is ridiculous, man. And the fact that Timothy Bradley wants to bring up Shakur Stevenson, right? And we talked
Oh,
about
that's
this last
crazy.
night on D Style Show. Like, why are you going to try to promote or do a commercial for another fighter while one fighter is in the ring right now? Like, that doesn't make sense. Look, Shakur's not fighting Navarrete. Villa is. So until there's a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Emmanuel Navarrete, let's not talk about it. Okay, there was a fight, a good fight happening right in front of you, and
Yeah.
you decided to talk about something else that was irrelevant. You know, like Villa is putting rounds in the bag while Navarrete is just headhunting and trying to knock the kid out, and he couldn't hit him. You know, he came in. Now I'll give him this. He came out there in that 12th round and put a lot of pressure on Villa and was getting to him in that round and landed the cleaner shots. And I gave him that round. But guess what, man? He came out there and it almost to me looked like he knew he needed that round. You know, in a fight that he was supposed to be dominating. You know, he came out in that 12th round and like a fighter, like a desperate fighter. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I definitely agree. I wanted Ruben Villa to put up a little bit better fight in that 12th round. And once the 12th round started, you can kind of see the vibe of the 12th. And then I said, no, Ruben just needs to survive. You know, he needs to get to this decision because you can kind of tell Navarrete turned it up. Navarrete turned it up a notch. And that was the scary part about them in the pocket. When Ruben Villa stayed in the pocket too long with Navarrete, he's throwing these punches at weird angles and they're coming. It's just too much. It's a lot to deal with for a little guy like Ruben Villa. So he needed to stay away from all that. So I wanted him to do better in the 12th, but Navarrete turned it up to another notch in the 12th round.
Yes, he did. He did. And much credit to Navarrete. He was able to get the win against a very skilled opponent in Ruben Villa. Villa has nothing to be ashamed of, man. Like I said, getting knocked down twice in the biggest fight of your career on the biggest stage you've ever been on, to get up and make the fight interesting and go 12 with Navarrete when he's been knocking just about everybody out that he's been in there with. And it looked like that was going to be the case here. I'm not going to lie, man. That 4th round when he went down, he was hurt pretty bad from that punch. He was hurt pretty bad, and he was able to survive. And still, if I could quote Andre Ward, who was on the call last night, and it's disappointing me that he didn't say this, but Ruben Villa acted like a fighter. He got up. He didn't quit. He stuck to his game plan. He kept trying to win the fight. And his game plan was working. It did frustrate Navarrete because Navarrete was not having that kind of success in the second half of the fight as he did in the first half of the fight, man. I'm going to read some comments here. We got a few more people here. A-Rod says, on the Spanish side, they were saying that he was looking a little like Loma. He was boxing well, man. He was boxing well. And I just don't understand why people didn't see that. Run PMC says, Poncher and Algieri were acting similar in the Truck Thompson fight. I didn't get a chance to hear that commentary. I did watch the fight, though, but I didn't peep the commentary. I was kind of in and out with stuff. Big Dog Willie's here. He says, what's going on, bro? Thanks for joining us. Run PMC says, it's because he's trying to get on Andre Ward's good side again since Ward is one of Shakur's. Maybe, man. Maybe you're right. Bruce Goes is here. He says, salute G Funky Boxing. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. Says, did you see when Navarrete almost hit it? Yeah, he did. He did. What'd you say? What would be a good comeback fight for Villa? I don't know, man. There's some guys at 126 that I would like to see him fight. I still think he's got the goods to become a world champion. I really do, man. He showed me a lot tonight. Look, this guy got his first chance to become a world champion against one of the most unorthodox and just weird fighters in the game right now. And he was able to win 6 rounds on 2 of the judges' scorecards, man. I believe this kid has the goods, man. And I compared it last night when I was on D-Style Show. I compared it to a baseball game where you have 2 aces on the pitching staff go out there, right? Your 2 best pitchers on both teams. They go out there, they pitch a complete game. Both guys go 9 innings, yet one guy just makes 2 mistakes, right? He leaves a high fastball up and the guy hits it out of the park. And he leaves a curveball out there in the zone and it gets hit out of the park. You know, he made 2 mistakes and guess what? It cost him the fight. So much credit to Navarrete for that, man. Black and Brown, who do you see him possibly coming back and fighting at 126? Ruben Villa, that is.
No, that's a good question. I've been thinking about it, and I'm not exactly. I don't have a name exactly, but it should be a fighter that has some type of recognition, like an older fighter, someone that can, bring some attention to the fight. Something that could be a big, like a good fight for him. I can't. I'm gonna think about that, and I'm gonna find a name that I like. Maybe a few names. I think an older fighter with some type of popularity would be good.
Like someone established. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, someone established. And another question I have for you guys, for you, G Funky, is Navarette big for 126 or is Ruben Villa small? Because I don't know if Ruben Villa should continue fighting guys that big.
Well, I think Navarette is 5'7", I think, which is I'm 5'10", so he's small compared to me, but
yeah.
He's definitely got the frame to move up to at least maybe 135, maybe. We'll see how he does. I mean, there's no doubt he's going to go to 130 because he already had to strip naked on the scale to make 126. So we know that he's got the frame to move up some weight classes. I wouldn't say he's big for the weight class. If he could make the weight, he can make the weight. That's the way I see it. There are some people here that I'm looking at here at 126. Now Navarette is ranked number 2 here, according to BoxRec, that is. There's Dogg that he could fight, who's he's number 7 right now. There's quite a few guys here. Joet Gonzalez, we mentioned last night, on D Styles' channel.
That's a cool name. That's a cool name. That's not a bad name.
Yep, I think that's a good fight for him. A Joet or a Dogg. I don't know. Magdaleno was supposed to get in there and fight Navarette. He didn't take the fight. Now, he said it was because of money. We'll see now, because Navarette is a 2-time champion. So if he's going to fight Navarette now, that's going to be a little bit more money there, and an opportunity.
Is it Jesse Magdaleno you're talking about?
Yeah, Jesse Magdaleno. Yeah, and that could be a good fight for Villa too. If he doesn't take the fight with Navarette. Of course, we got the guys at the top like Warrington, Gary Russell, Kid Gallahan. Those guys are probably not going to be in play for Ruben Villa right now. He's going to have to work his way back in. They still have Shakur Stevenson here. I don't know why he's moved up to 130.
G-Funky, I'm okay with him working his way back in now and getting 3 fights that are favorable for him to win, to work his way back in. I think that he put on a good performance, and he showed that he has talent and that he has a future in the sport. So there's no need to continue to rush him. All right, you took a huge step. It's a minor step back. Now let's keep on with his career and keep moving him in the right way. I don't want to see him right back in the ring with in a tough fight. I want to see him continue progressing and continue growing.
Yeah, I agree. Marriaga could be a good fight for him too. He's coming off a loss. Both guys coming off a loss now. So yeah, there's some guys there that we could definitely see him in there against. I think now, look, I said it last night. I know it's going to be unpopular, but I think he should get a rematch with Navarette at some point. Not immediately, but at some point. If you win 6 rounds against a guy, that's a close fight. 6 rounds he won on 2 judges' scorecards. That's a close fight. He's got that. He can say, hey, look, man, you and I had a tough fight. Yeah, you dropped me a couple of times, and that's what won you the fight. 2 of the judges had the fight even, and you got the extra points in those rounds because you knocked me down. If he comes back and gets a world title, like I think he can. I think he's got the goods. But I think he's going to have to collect a belt somewhere in order to try to get that rematch with him, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I would love to see a rematch, but I don't know if I think Navarette might be moving up, and I don't see Ruben's body frame holding more than 126. I don't know if I see Ruben at 130. So, and maybe by the time Navarette's done, by the time Navarette's 30 years old, he might be at 135. So I don't mind a rematch, but I don't know. Down the line, I don't know. I don't know if I see that happening.
Yeah, it's tough. He might not get it. But see, this is just me talking because I'm such a competitive guy. If I'm in a competition with somebody and it's that close, I'm calling your ass out again. Like that's just the way that I am. You know, like you and me, Black and Brown. We play a game of basketball, a game of 21. You beat me 21 to 19. Like I'm gonna be like, nah, man, you keep your ass on the court. We're gonna fucking play again. You know, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you beat me 21 to 2, then ain't no way I could. You be like, man, get your ass off the court, man. I destroyed you. You know, like
Run PMC, run PMC, put a good fight up. Ruben Villa versus Adam Lopez. I like Adam Lopez. He puts up a good fight.
Adam Lopez is he's got a good amateur background too, just like Ruben Villa. There's some work there for him, man. I think he could do some good things here, man. Maybe if he gets a world title at some point, we could see him fight Shakur Stevenson again. He went 2 for 2 with Stevenson in the amateurs. ESPN kind of brushed that off, man. I was a little upset at that because, you know, we know that there's a lot of hype around Shakur Stevenson, and it's you know, obviously he deserves that. He's one of the best amateurs to come out of the game for the United States. But to sit here and act like they didn't go 2 for 2. You know, to me, that's just ridiculous, man. What do you think?
Again, I'm gonna take the same stance I'm taking on the Navarette. I think Shakur is just a bigger kid and going to be a bigger man at the end of the day. I think Ruben Villa won't get that big body frame, and I think Shakur is one of them that kids that's going to continue growing every day. Shakur is getting bigger and bigger, and it's just a matter of time before Shakur is at 140 in 2 or 3 years. And I see Ruben Villa maybe maxing out at 130. So,
yeah, let me get a height check on Villa. He doesn't look maybe 5'6", I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna double check. I don't want to just say something and not have it.
I just get the feeling, right? I get the feeling that Ruben Villa should be in a lower weight class. But I could be wrong.
No, you know what? No, I agree. I think that his frame, you know, and again, people have talking about his power, but I mean, look, he's at 126. You know, like we don't see. It's rare that we see guys come in at the featherweight division and just knock guys out like crazy, like what Navarette's doing, hurting guys in just about every fight. Like that's a rare thing at 126. I mean, some of the last guys that I can remember at that weight class that were just completely knocking everybody out were guys like. You know, Prince Nassim, when he came here from England, had crazy power, and he came in at that weight. So he was getting a lot of hype because he was a small guy. He was hurting dudes all the time. It's a rare thing what's happening here with Navarette, man. Guys at 126, they just don't carry that kind of power. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I know some people are saying that, you know, he just doesn't have enough power and things like that. I mean, a lot of guys at that weight class just don't hit hard. That's just the nature of the game when you're that small. But I do think he's got the skills. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some things that I would like to see him improve on. But he does have a lot more good than the bad. What would you like to see from Ruben Villa as far as like adding some things to his game?
I want to say power. I think there was opportunity there for him last night. He was holding a lot of punches back because Navarette was really sloppy. You know, I don't know if he was taking the fight lightly, but he was sloppy not only with his punches, he was overthrowing. He was leaving himself wide open to the body. And Ruben Villa just would not capitalize. So I would like to see him, you know, become more active because I think he has it. He has everything he needs. He just wasn't letting his hands go much last night. And I don't know if that was, you know, part of the strategy. He wanted to protect himself. He didn't want to leave himself open for a big shot. But I thought there was opportunities for him last night. So I want to see him add a little bit of power to his game and just step up his work rate just a little bit.
Yes, I completely agree with what you just said. I rewatched the fight again earlier today, and you know, I see the openings. I see him setting the traps, and he's having Navarette lunge in, you know, from far out, which is something that you just don't do in boxing. When you lunge from that far away, you leave yourself open. You put yourself in that counterpunch range. And he did not take advantage of that. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 times. It was a lot of times during the fight. Could he have been a little gun shy from getting clipped with these awkward shots from these weird angles? Absolutely. But you still have to make your man pay. If you make him miss, you got to make him pay. You know, there was a lot of opportunities there. I definitely agree 100% with you, Black and Brown, on that. As far as his power goes, man, you know, somebody, you matter of fact, Xavier Martinez's cousin, who's a subscriber here, maybe he'll join us before we end the live here. But he came on D Styles' show last night and asked us, you know, how would he be able to improve on his power? Would it be, you know, lifting weights, strength and conditioning, things like that? I mean, I think if he can improve more on his inside game with like in the pocket, you know, side to side movement, going up and down, ducking shots, and then trying to counter from there, you know, I think that might help improve some of his power because he'll be a little more stationary. You know, he'll be able to sit down on some of his shots. When you move as much as he does, you know, naturally you're going to lose a little bit of zap on the punches. You know, I'm one. I just, you know, I would never tell a fighter to lift weights. If I was a trainer, I would never tell my fighters to lift weights. From my experience and from guys that I knew that were training back in the day, when they would lift weights, it was just not good for them. They would get too stiff. You know, you want to have that lean, athletic type muscle so you can move around a ring and be fast. You don't want to be stiff in there, man. But yes, I do think that sitting down on some of his shots so that he can generate a little bit more power would help him out for sure. D-Style here says, the only issue is public doesn't think it was close. Hard for a promoter to sell to a network / people. Via needs to be, yeah, I agree, man. He's got you know, Via's got a style that a lot of promoters will protect their fighters from. He's got a very slick counter punching. He's a southpaw. Those are all things that when promoters see that, they're like, okay, I'm gonna keep my guy far away from this dude because it could be a bad night for him. You know, it's always tough fighting a lefty in general, but when you got a lefty that can move around the ring and counter punch the way that Via can, yes, it can be hard for him to get fights that way, man. What do you think, bro?
You know, a fight I would love to see.
What's that?
I would love to see Julio Cesar Martinez fight Ruben Villa. I know they're too far away in weight classes, but I would love to see that fight.
Mm-hmm. And he's fighting in a couple weeks, man. We got a great card there. We got Julio Cesar Martinez fighting. We got Chocolatito fighting. We got El Gallo Estrada fighting. That is man. We've talked a lot about the zone, and as bad as they've been, believe me, they've been really bad. But that is a stacked card right there, man. What do you think of that card, bro?
Yeah, I can't wait for that card, man. There's just so much action. Like I said earlier, in boxing, it's like every weekend there's a Super Bowl, and it just don't stop. Yeah, who do we got on that card? We got Estrada.
Estrada's fighting. He's fighting Cuadras, who, in my opinion, beat Chocolatito. I think Estrada beat Chocolatito back in the day, so he's got the toughest fight of the night. Chocolatito is fighting some dude named Gonzalez. I've never heard of him. And I don't know who the guy is that Martinez is fighting, but, you know, these are all small weight classes. You know, these guys throw a lot of punches, a lot of action. So it's going to be big. And let me tell you something, man, on a personal level, if Estrada and Chocolatito can get wins and they match these two up, man, you know, I'm going to have a huge fight party for that because I am good friends with a family. They're all from Nicaragua. And they show up, man, and they get excited anytime their guys are fighting. So, you know, it's going to be like a Mexico versus Nicaragua here at my house, man. It's going to be good, bro. And if the pandemic's over, I'll definitely have them over. And you better have your ass there too, Black and Brown.
Yeah, man, for sure. Just send me the invite. So who is Joseph Parker on that card, or is Joseph Parker on a different card?
I believe he's on a different card. I believe so,
card.
yeah.
Okay. So those are the three main fighters on that card is Julio Martinez, Estrada, and Chocolatito. Do we got anybody else?
No, I think that's it. I mean, there might be a few more fights on the undercard, but, I mean, that's a stacked card right there, man. It's three really good fighters in those lower weight classes. And, wow, that's going to be exciting, man. That's going to be an exciting night. And that's in 2 weeks.
That's on the zone, right?
Yes, on the zone. Next Saturday, bro, we got the fight that I've been most anticipated this whole year, man, since it was signed. We got Lomachenko versus Lopez, man. Now, I don't know if you're going to do a prediction on your channel or not. If you want to save it for your channel, let me know. But give me your quick thoughts on that, man. We got 1 week, bro. We got 1 week. What do you think?
Nah, this is just one of them fights that it's just so tough to call. It's just two styles. They just go together so well. Like, who's gonna do it? You know, whose style is gonna come out on top? Is Teofimo gonna be able to get to him? Can he land his power? You know, is Lomachenko gonna be able to dance and stay away and get in the pocket and get out the pocket? Like, it's just so hard because Teofimo has so much potential. There's so much potential. Like, the sky is the limit for Teofimo Lopez. So it's hard seeing this kid losing. But at the same time, you cannot sleep on Loma's skills and his ability. So it's hard to see anybody going in there and landing a big shot on Loma and really hurting him and really be able to dominate him. So either way, man, it's just hard to see. So if I have to call it one way, I'm gonna say, I want to say a draw, right? But I'm not gonna say the draw. I'm gonna say Loma, maybe split decision. Majority decision, Lomachenko wins the fight on points, basically.
Yeah, that's the that's the easy pick there, man. And I'm not trying to say you're taking the easy way out. I mean, everybody is picking Lomachenko for good reason. The guy he's very skilled. He's one of the best fighters in the game right now. He's made guys quit. He's been very impressive in his pro career so far. I just think that once he's moved up, I mean, I'm not going to give my breakdown's coming. It's going to be here on the channel. It's coming here. We're going to talk about it on HCP. This is a big week for us, man, because D-Style and I have been doing some barking, all right? So we're going to have to, get our predictions out there, our breakdowns out there. But I just think that since Loma has moved up to 135, he hasn't had the same impact on guys as he had in the lower weight classes. He's been getting hit a lot more than he has been. And he cannot afford to slip up against a guy like Teofimo Lopez because he's got one punch knockout power, man. And I think that he can land that shot, man. I think he's going to knock Loma out. I'm going to say mid-rounds at some point, but I'm picking him in. The full breakdown will be coming here shortly. You guys make sure that you tune in for that one, man. We got another guest here. We got Stormy B, man, is here. He says, "What's up, G Funky Box It?" Hey, thank you for joining me, Stormy B. This Black and Brown, him and I, man, this is our show, the Boxing Kings of Sacramento. We're here doing our thing, man. Speaking of Sacramento.
What's up, Stormy? Stormy B, what's up, man? Salute.
That's right, man. D-Style here says both Quadras and Gallo beat Chocolate. I agree with you. Both good fights, but I think that he lost to both of those guys. Got the W against both of them, but you know what? We'll see what happens here, man. I think that Quadras and Estrada fight, God, that's going to be a great fight on that card, man. Unbelievable.
Hey, G Funky, I catch a lot of heat, right, for just saying how much I love the zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the zone has done so much for the casual boxing fan. The zone has made it easy for the casual boxing fan to keep up with some of these fighters. That the zone has put these fighters in the face of the casual boxing fan because, the zone it's like these new apps. Everything's an app, right? So a lot of people are looking at the zone, even if they're a boxing fan, not a boxing fan. They got the cool logo. They're new. Everybody's on the new hype. Everybody wants to jump on the new app, the new sporting app. Once they get into the zone and they say, all right, let me sign up for the zone just to see what it's about. They have so much to offer and they put so much on the table and they almost suck you in. They suck you in. If you're a casual boxing fan and you watch the zone, you get sucked in. And this Friday night is a prime example. Like, look at what they're going to give you. They're going to give you 3 lightweights that the casual boxing fans, they don't know who these guys are. They don't know who Estrada is. They don't know who Julio Cesar Martinez is. But if they tune into the zone this Friday night, they're going to put them out there. They're going to be put in your face, and you're going you're gonna know who they are by the end of the night. So this is why I just love the zone, what they do for the sport, man. They just make it easy for the casual boxing fans to come back into the sport. And that's what the sport needs, because over the years, diehard boxing fans have been turned into casuals because they've been turned off by the sport. They've been boring. The sport is boring. There's no excitement in the sport. It's hard to keep up with the sport. But now as times are changing, it seems like the sport is picking up more momentum, and the zone is there to help and is showing you Ryan Garcias, the Devin Haney's, the Virgil Ortiz's, the Jaime Munguia's, you know, the list goes on and on. The Beck the Bully, you know, there's just so many names I can keep naming that the zone is just putting them in our face and making them household names and grabbing the attention of the casual boxing fan, saying, here, look at this young 20-year-old. Here, look at this 25-year-old. Look what he's doing in the game, and giving him that platform and giving him these showcases, even if they're showcases, guys. These guys catch so much credit. I mean, they catch so much heat for showcases, right? And they want them to fight big competition. But the sport right now, it needs the showcases. Devin Haney needs showcases. Virgil Ortiz, they need them to grab the attention of the casual boxing fan and bring them back into the sport. And then the sport will have less casuals, and it'll be like a sport that is on top of the game, in the top 3 here in America, because there's too much talent in the sport right now for people not to jump on board. There's just too much. And now you have the zone helping the PBC and helping Top Rank. When I look at these platforms, I don't look at it as a competition. I look at the zone coming in and helping the sport. So sorry, G Funky. I had to just give my little DAZN rant because I love the zone, bro.
That's, you know what, man? I was just letting you burn because I felt like you had a lot to say, and you said some good things, man. Hey, look, we got a guy, man, Black and Brown. I mean, we've had a lot of people on here complain and talk shit about the zone, but look, we got a guy here who's enjoyed the product that they've been putting out there, and you know, man, the zone, where you guys at? You guys need to hire my boy Black and Brown. All right, he just put a whole commercial out for you, man. Get this guy a hand, man. That was good stuff, bro. I gotta say. I've had my issues with the zone, you know, don't get me wrong, but as long as they're putting out fights, man, I'm good with it. You know, I think that what they've done with the best and the biggest name that they've had, Canelo, I mean, I think that they've really screwed that up really bad. But yeah, if they continue to give us good fights, man, you know, I'm all for it. I still have the app. I still have the app on my phone. Whenever they have fights, I'm watching them. So, you know, it is what it is with the zone, man. So yeah, I want to talk about another local fighter here who's going to get an opportunity in 2 weeks. October 24th, we have hometown native to Sacramento, like Black and Brown and myself, Xavier Martinez. He's fighting some guy named Mariero in a 12-round WBA super featherweight title eliminator. He will be the co-feature to the Sergey Lepinets fight on Showtime. So make sure you guys check out our boy, man, Xavier Martinez. I was hoping that his cousin would show up once we were live. He usually shows up, you know, but you know, I know it's kind of an odd time to come on and do a show, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Xavier Martinez. He trains with Ray Woods, who used to train one of the best fighters to come out of this area, Diego Chico Corrales. And it seems like he's doing some good things there with Xavier Martinez. My boy George Ramos, who is a glove inspector here for the commission, has worked a couple of his events, told me he's seen a lot of good things about this kid. And, you know, I really want to see him. The last time he was on TV, man, he got the guy out of there in like 40 seconds or something like that. So we didn't really get to see much. But did you happen to catch his last fight, Black and Brown?
Nah, you know, I didn't see his last fight, and kind of feel dumb saying I didn't see his last fight, man. But nah, just highlights.
Yeah, because I mean, really, the only highlight that there was him landing a big left hook and the guy goes down. That was really all that was there to see. It was one of the quickest fights that I've ever seen in boxing. but I hope that he's able to get some good rounds out of this guy that he's fighting. And again, it's an eliminator, so he'll put himself in line to fight for the WBA super featherweight strap, man. We could use another champion to come out of the area, man. I'm all for it. Ray Woods, man. He used to train out of Oak Park, bro. Do you remember that place?
Yeah, I do. And you know what, G Funky? Man, I'm so excited that Xavier Martinez is fighting. He was supposed to be fighting tonight, right? They pushed it back, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be tonight. Yeah.
Man, that was kind of messed up. But once I heard that they re-announced it for a different day, I was like, okay, fine. But G Funky, man, I don't know, but since I started my channel and I got this little baby platform, I just want to, really highlight Xavier Martinez. I feel like we should get behind him 100%, and try to give him as much publicity as we can, because these boxers, it's hard for them to get publicity, especially if you're not one of these kids who want to be all over social media. Social media is not for everybody, and social media really helps these kids promote their careers. Because there's just not enough attention on the sport, so they have to do it themselves. And maybe Xavier Martinez, isn't into social media that way. So I feel like we have to give him as much publicity as we can. So we have to support him and rally around him and get him on our shows, get him on our channels, get his people, on our channels, and really get him out there as much as we can. We owe it to him.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to do my best to see. I mean, I know he's in training camp right now, and they're coming down the stretch, but I'm going to try my best to see if I can get the kid on and, get him. You're absolutely right, man. We got to get him some exposure. I mean, look, we had a guy from Salinas Salinas is not that far from here. It's like a 2.5-hour drive from where you and I stay. A kid who had a great amateur career. And he's, look, I love Thompson Promotions, man, because I've gone to a lot of their events here locally. Ruben Villa has fought at a lot of the Thompson Promotion events that were here locally. But he's got the type of background that he should be under Top Rank or something like that. He should be under a big banner as far as the platform goes. As far as my understanding, Xavier Martinez was with the money team with Floyd Mayweather in his last fight. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I'll have to check and see, but I believe he was with the money team. So that's a huge, huge platform for him. The money team will get him out there. They'll match him up well. They'll get him on TV. He was on Showbox The Next Generation, his last fight, when he knocked out that dude in 30, 40 seconds. So hopefully he's still with them. If not, then maybe he's with another big promotional company. But I really like what I've seen from the kid so far. There's some videos out there on YouTube that you can see him training and stuff like that. And yes, Run PMC, Ray Woods was Corrales' stepdad. Yes, he was. And that gym that they trained at was maybe about a mile from where Black and Brown and I grew up. So, back in the day, man, it was a big thing in our area for Corrales to become a world champion. And it would be good to see another one come out of our city, man. There's quite a few young prospects that I want to get. This damn pandemic screwed a lot of things up, man. I was planning on going to some local gyms and talking to some of these fighters, but you just can't do that nowadays with the pandemic. So once all that shit is over, we're going to be featuring a lot more local fighters here on this platform, man, for sure. And like Black and Brown said, they need all the help they can get, man, because we're always the underdogs here, right? Black and Brown, we're always the underdogs, man, in Sacramento. So we need that extra push.
We are.
You know what I'm saying?
we gotta fight and scrape. We gotta fight and scrape for every inch.
That's right, man. We're not a sexy town like Los Angeles and all those other cities down in Southern California. We, like you said, we got to scratch, claw, fight just to get a little bit of exposure. I mean, like I said, look, we had a guy who was like a blue chipper, in my opinion, and Ruben Villa got his very first fight on Top Rank. He should have been fighting. I mean, he should have been on ESPN for. He should have been signed already by now. To me, it's kind of crazy, but hopefully.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I just thought about that, G Funky. You're right. His last fight was on Showbox, and now this fight was on Top Rank. You're right about that.
Yep. So now we're gonna see Martinez on the undercard of another PBC event. He's the co-feature. I know it's not the biggest name in Sergey Lipinets, but we'll see how that event does. I'm really looking forward to that. Who knows? Maybe I can get Black and Brown to come on here and we'll do we'll call that fight. You know, we'll do a punch by punch for Xavier Martinez's fight, and if he wins, believe me, I'll be doing my best to try to contact his people to get him on the show, man. Would you be willing to join me for that one, man? If I get him on the show.
Hell yeah, let's do it because you're good at calling the punch by punch, and I could be your color man. I'm good at that. You do the punch by punch, and I'll fill in.
That's right. Well, look at this here, man. We're getting ready to end the show here in a few minutes, and we finally get a Sacramento native to come in and leave a comment. Where the hell have you been, David? All right. I've been looking for you, bro. All right. But he says, que viva el chocolatito. Hey, man, you're supposed to be going for Estrada, bro. All right. We're Mexicanos, man, you know. But David will probably be at that fight party once we get the Chocolatito and Estrada rematch. Run PMC says Villa does have the same manager as Jose Ramirez, so he might get signed top rank after last. I hope so, man. And that's good information. I did not know that. That's good information. We got Raider from LA Boxing is here. What's going on, Raider? Thanks for joining us, man. And David says he's at work. Brother, hey, man, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm live, bro. All right. But it is good to see you here, David. I appreciate you being here, man. And if any of you guys would like to donate to the channel, here's the Cash App. You know, it's more than appreciated. It will help the channel grow. And, you know, this is HCP, by the way, the home of real boxing talk, because, you know, that's all we do around here is talk boxing. You know, we try to cover all the fights that we can. Black and Brown, we got a few minutes here, man. I want to ask you, are you willing to talk a little bit about the big board? Can you show us the big board, man? Because I really love that idea, man. And I think some of my subscribers that are here right now, I don't think they've seen it or heard of it, man. So if you could, if not, show it to us. Give us a little information about it, man.
Let me see if I can. Let me see. I can probably do this. Yeah, it's just a board I put together, you know, kind of for myself. I do it for myself just to entertain myself because I like to kind of rate the fighters, you know, not too much on like versus each other, but just where they're at in the sport and how much noise they're making in the sport. So I just did like a top 100 and then I decided to put it on YouTube. But let me see, man, if I can get on here and screen share, because I don't think I could do it over my phone.
Maybe if you turn the camera, you know, turn the camera on, we might be able to see it. If not, you could just, you know, give us a quick, you know. But I think that big board is a pretty cool idea, man. When I went through your channel and I seen it, I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. Like I haven't seen something like this on YouTube. So, you know, that's a pretty cool cool idea that you came up with, man.
Yeah, I like it. And I was working on it today, and it's just something that you're always moving around. You're always studying. It keeps your like mind focused on the sport and comparing resumes, comparing, you know, future fights, staying up on who's champion and what divisions, what fights. I look at a lot of what they have coming up. What do they have in the future? You know, how much noise are they going to make here in the next 2 or 3 years? For me, that goes a long way. You know, the what have you done for me lately? What are you doing now? Like that goes a long way for me. People don't like this, and I think I turn people off when I say this, but like Manny Pacquiao, he's really low on my list. You know, my list is not a all-time list. My list isn't a pound for pound list. You know, my list is where they're at today. You know, what are they doing today in the sport of boxing? Where do they stand today? What are they going to do moving in the future? And in my opinion, Manny Pacquiao is on the way out. You know, and if we're honest about where he stands in the sport, he's got probably 1 or 2 fights left. You know, and now he's talking about fighting McGregor, and that's not even, you know, that's an exhibition fight in my opinion. That can't even be held in the same breath as the other fighters, especially in the welterweight division. So Manny Pacquiao's kind of low on my big board, and people don't like that, but it is what it is.
Well,
I mean, we could talk about it and we could debate it.
Yeah, that's the good thing about having a list. You can talk about it, you can debate it, but at the end of the day, guess what? It's your list, you know, and no list is, you know, set in stone as far as boxing goes. That's just not the way it works. It makes for great conversation. Though, absolutely. I have to mention my boy David Garcia. Just donated to the Cash App, and he says, "Keep up the good work, brother. I will definitely keep up the good work, and thank you. I appreciate the donation, man." Um, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if you want to turn on your other computer and give us a look at it, or if not, we'll cover it next time. But it looks like we got some people that are interested, man. We got Chicano Private says he wants to know what that's all about. Run PMC says, "Damn, a top 100." I know, dude. It's crazy. He's got this big giant whiteboard, and he's got, you know, it's clean the way he does it, man. I like it, man. That's why I wanted to talk about it real quickly here on the channel. But yeah, that's the good thing about lists, man, is, you know, at the end of the day, it's your list. So you can put, you know, whoever you want, wherever you want. If you want to move guys around, you move guys around. You know, that's the cool thing about it. Me personally, I've never made a list like that. So you know, I don't know, man. To me, boxing, making pound for pound lists or things like that, I mean, I don't know, man. I just never done it for some reason. But you still there, Black and Brown?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying
to get it set up.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Let's see. Raider here says Black and Brown has Canelo in permanent marker at number 1. Well, I'm sure you're gonna win over a lot of people here, man. That one. And you know what? That's a hard thing to dispute, having Canelo number 1. You know, a lot of people have said that I don't like Canelo and things like that, but you know, I'm an honest boxing fan, man. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion. If I feel he needs to be criticized, I'll criticize him. But when he does good things, I give him the credit too. And as far as the fight game goes right now, currently, I have to put him number 1 as well, man. Any of you guys, let's see. Give us, I don't know, a few names that you think he might have at the, I don't know. Let's just do 5. Give me a top 5 that you might think is in Black and Brown's top 5 on his big board, man. I want to see who you guys got there, man. This has been a good show, though, man. But I'm going to do my best to reach out to Xavier Martinez's people to see if we could get him on, man. Because you're right, man. Our guys need more support than anybody else, man.
Okay, I think I might. Okay,
There we go. So there's the let me make it bigger. There's the big board, guys. You see it there? So it looks like, let me get close. It looks like we got on Black and Brown's big board, he's got 100 fighters here. You guys see all the names right there. We got number 1, Canelo. Number 2, Anthony Joshua. Number 3, Lomachenko. Number 4, Monster Inouye. Number 5, Bud Crawford. Number 6, Jose Ramirez. Number 7, Josh Taylor. Number 8, Earl Spence. Number 9, Usyk. And number 10, Estrada, El Gallo Estrada. Just outside of the top 10, we have Jermell Charlo. I'm sure that might make a few people a little bit happy, or maybe a little bit mad. But yeah,
he's
guys,
working his ass off.
Yeah, you know, I have to give Jermell more credit than Jamal at this point, and I would definitely rank him higher than Jamal, no doubt about it. But yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it too well or not, but this is Black and Brown's big board, man. And this is crazy, man. He's got 100 fighters on here, man. You know, this guy took a lot of time probably to make this list. So this is good stuff, man. I like it. So what are the colors, man? Do those colors mean anything or what?
Yeah, if you're the green name is like you're a champion division, and then blue name is a unified champion, and then the red name is the female boxers. I
Oh,
like female boxing. I just can't. I don't have the time to study it and really like dig deep into the sport and learn about who are all the contenders. But the top names, I definitely pay attention to the top names because they're super entertaining to watch. And these females, they got a lot of good boxing skills. They stay in the pocket and they exchange, and it's action.
that is true. The women, they definitely do come to fight, man. No doubt about it. This is a good list,
One
dude.
reason. Sorry to cut you off, G Funky, but the reason I made the big board is because I find something intriguing about the sport is the young kids in the sport and the future mixing in with the older kids and the older generation. So like 20-year-olds coming into the sport, mixing in with the 30-year-olds that are in the sport. I find it so intriguing to see how they are going to mix and which ones are going to push which ones out. So when I think about it and I see these young kids coming up, I can kind of look into the future and see like who's going to push who out and who's going to challenge who.
I
So
like it. I like it, man. Bruce goes, well, he's something else, man, but I'm glad you said it and not me. I don't know if you can see what's on the screen right now, black and brown, but
yeah, I just went to the comments. Yeah, Chicano Prophet, do you know who Beck the Bully is? He said he put a question mark next to his name, but he's super good. I'm hella high on him. But if you look at my list, you see I'm super high on prospects. I got prospects super high on my list because that's what grabs my attention. And that's who, to me, is making a lot of noise in the sport is the young kids.
Right. So here's what I'm gonna say, man. All right, I'm gonna make an announcement, okay, before we wrap this up, okay? Because black and brown, I keep hearing this guy, black and brown, talking about, man, you know what? I'm just a casual fan, bro. I'm just a cat. Let me tell you something, man. Casual fans don't do this type of stuff. Okay, they don't make big boards and write down 100 fighters' names on them. All right, so I'm declaring it right now, and the rest of the HCP familia out there is going to declare it with me. Black and brown is no longer a casual fan. All right, he's a hardcore fan now. We're gonna just we're gonna make it official here, man. All right, your mic is muted though, bro. You gotta unmute the. You hear me now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, man, you are no longer a casual fan. Okay, casuals don't do things like that, bro. If you're a casual a casual fan. You are the most knowledgeable fucking casual fan I've ever ran into in my life, bro. Let me tell you, I know guys that have come to my house for multiple. I mean, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 fight parties. Talking about I've been a hot fan of boxing all my life. These motherfuckers don't even know that you score defense when you score a fight. You know, like that's casual shit right there. You know, like what you doing here, man, is not. This is not casual stuff, bro. So I'm declaring it, man. Black and brown is officially a hardcore boxing fan. What do you guys think out there, man? I'm doing it, man.
Well, the reason I just say I take that role as the casual is because of my history. Like I've watched boxing since like '87, right? But I don't remember the contenders. I really don't remember who lost. You know, I watched all the big names of Tyson, Roy Jones. I was a huge Jermaine Taylor fan. I can't tell you who Jermaine Taylor beat. I don't remember. I was a huge Bernard Mayweather, De La Hoya. I watched all these fights. My memory, right? I don't remember the contenders. I don't remember. My history isn't there. So I come on YouTube and I come across these guys who just know so much about the sport and their history, and they can just go into resumes, and there's just no way I could do that. So my history isn't there. My memory isn't there, but like active fighters today, where we stand today in the sport, I'm all over it. So that's why I just take the casual role. Like, hey man, I'm just a casual boxing fan. Ask me anything about that's going on today, and I can tell you. But anything that happened 10 years ago, I really can't tell you.
Well, brother, let me tell you like this. That's why we have Google, all right? Because guys like us that are getting up there in age, all right, believe me, like I remember a lot of things from the past, but I can't remember it. Sometimes I got to go and look it up too. So that's a part of life, man. You get older, you forget things, you know. But you know, I honestly, I would say this, man. You're a hardcore, in my opinion. If anybody else disagrees, and that's, you know, it is what it is. But I think you're a hardcore fan. I gotta acknowledge my boy A-Rod, who just donated to the Cash App. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. It's gonna help the channel grow, and we'll get more of this real boxing talk because, like it says here at the bottom, man, this is the home. All right, this is the home. If you're new to the channel and you come across this video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time G Funky Boxing goes live. This has been a great show, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up right now, though. So, Black and Brown, any last words you want to say before we wrap this thing up, and then we go into Boxing Kings of Sacramento Part 3, man, which could be in a couple weeks. Who knows, man? But any last words you want to say, man?
Yeah, for sure. We didn't talk. There's two fighters that we didn't talk about: Lorenzo Simpson and Elvis Rodriguez. Elvis Rodriguez, super good young prospect. I like him so much. Keep an eye on him. He was good last night. Truck Simpson, I was high on him. I was excited to watch him. I was a little bit let down, but hey, I'm gonna still keep watching him. He was on my big board, but he didn't look too impressive, so he might be falling off. I think I'm going to replace him with Filip Hrgović because Filip Hrgović got a big fight coming up. So you might try to get Filip Hrgović on there. But, yeah, Lorenzo Simpson and Elvis Rodriguez, they both fought last night as well, and we didn't talk about them. So just a quick shout-out to them. Elvis looked good.
Yes, you're right. I see him, you know, doing some good things here in the future, man. But he's looking good, and good stuff, man. See, you talking about, man, we're done with that, man. I don't want to hear that no more coming out of your mouth anymore. All right, we're done with that, bro. All right.
The future of boxing is hey, G Funky. The future is boxing is bright, man. I've been a sports fan my whole life, G Funky, since a kid. Crazy baseball fan, crazy football fan, right? I'm telling you, man, the sport of boxing is on the rise. And by 2025, the sport of boxing will be back on top because of the young wave of talent. The Elvis Rodriguez, the Beck the Bullies, Ryan Garcias, Devin Haney's, Teofimo Lopez, Gabriel Flores, Xavier Martinez. These kids are going to take the sport of boxing back to the top. And that's why I'm here, G Funky. That's why I'm on YouTube today. I feel like it's just natural. If you're a sporting fan and you open your eyes to these kids, you're going to be in this sport too. And that's what I do every day, G Funky. I go to work. I show casual boxing fans, hey, look at this kid. Look at Edgar Berlanga. Look at Devin Haney. You know, look at Beck the Bully. I'm constantly showing casual boxing fans highlights of these young kids because these young kids are going to carry this sport for the next 10 years. And the sport is in good hands, G Funky.
Absolutely, man. And we got to do our best, not just you and I, but everybody that comes across this video, everybody that's in the chat right now. We got to do our best to push the sport, man, because it always has a bad rap. It always has a bad name to all these other sports fans, all the casual boxing fans. We got to do our part and help them to understand the sport. I know it's confusing, but we got to do our best, man. And I agree with you, Maxilla. 3-1 odds on Teofimo looks real nice right now, man. I got to get my bread in before it's too late. But guys, we're going to wrap this thing up. Black and Brown, if you could stick around after I end the live, I want to talk to you about a few things off the record. You know what I'm saying? But guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the donations. I appreciate it. This was Volume 2 of Boxing Kings of, you see it right here, Sacramento, Sakura, whatever you want to call it, all right? But
I need one of them hats, man. I need one of them hats.
Hey, the next time we're on, we will have the man who makes these hats, the owner of the company. But I will definitely shoot you the link to his website as soon as we get off the air. He's got a channel here. Hold on, let me go back up, man, before we wrap this up. Now that you mentioned that, he was here earlier, so he's got a channel. I don't know if he has any videos yet. There should be some videos coming soon. Maybe there's a link to his oh, it's gone now. I can't highlight it no more, but it's Loyal Roots here on YouTube. And you can find that on the internet as well, loyalroots.com. You will see all the apparel that he makes. But the man who owns the company and makes all the shirts and everything, he will be here on the next episode of Boxing Kings of Sacramento. But for Black and Brown, this is G Funky Boxing, and we are out, man. See you guys on the next one.